Greetings everyone, this is Connor from DagoraC TV, and in this video we're asking, where will the Elder Scrolls 6 be set? Okay, so this is another installment in my Where Will the Elder Scrolls Be Set series, and this one is based on Black Marsh. If you want to see the other videos based on High Rock, Hammerfell, Valenwood, Somerset Elves and elsewhere, you can click on any of the annotations on the screen right now, or go to the playlist and check out all my other Elder Scrolls 6 videos. But in this one we are talking about Black Marsh, which is home to the Argonians and has not been featured in a single player Elder Scrolls game since the Elder Scrolls Travels Stormhold, which was a phone game, which as you can understand didn't do that well at the time. And has not been in one of the episodic series, one of the numbered ones, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, since Arena, so it's not really been fully explored as that was procedurally generated landscapes. Because the big one that is the big reason why it could be set there was there was this rumour that went out about a year ago now called the Elder Scrolls 6 Argonia, and really a lot of the unreliable sources was quoting this saying it was a leak and everything, so that was really on the mind and was really the first big landscape ruiner of the Elder Scrolls 6. And Black Marsh is a swampland, and as a province is very different to what we've experienced before, as it's very marshy trees. There's some areas which have not really been even explored. The Empire has not even got into certain cities because it's kind of so hard to explore through unless you're not an Argonian, so they probably have to get around that some way or bend the law a little bit to be able to kind of work around that, which is not a problem because that's really a minor change. And to kind of explore this kind of new thing and have these really new creatures in there would be so freaking cool to see. And Argonia, or Black Marsh as you want to call it, at this time is in a very, very weird place. They're gaining power as what they've not really had before in their history, as they've really been on the backbone of the Dunmer, of the Dark Elves, and the Dark Elves have really enslaved them in the past and everything, and now they're kind of fighting back, and they're kind of marching in on Morrowind. They've tried an invasion, and that's kind of where we're at this current time of Skyrim, as you can see in the map that's on your screen right now. And having this, the Argonians gaining confidence and wanting to get revenge on the Dark Elves is going to be something cool to kind of see, and see the reasoning behind that, and see some Dark Elves maybe join the side of the Argonians and things like that, or see how they react to that, and maybe even see them enslave some of the Dark Elves. There's a lot of things that could go. They could do a very dark turn, and in some ways comparable to real life in some situations. The Argonians also worship the Hist as the main god, and the Hist is the trees, basically, which is, has something which has been followed through by Sithis, which is, the whole thing with the Dark Brotherhood and everything, which is why you see so many Argonians in the Dark Brotherhood in games like Oblivion and Skyrim. And, seeing that whole culture of, the Hist and everything is very, very surreal to what we've experienced, with the 8 or 9 Divines. And we've heard about the Hist and we kind of know what it is to a certain extent, but really kind of delving into that more and seeing more lore about it is my main reason for the game to be set there. Another thing to kind of go across with this thing about the slavery of the Argonians is the whole thing with House Telvanni that we got with Morrowind, where, they were the house that was in that game that was all for, slavery of these Argonians, because they're beast races and not like what races should be, for example, that they should be, enslaved for that. And for that, they've got a lot of similarities with the Khajiit in that aspect. So, the Khajiit and the Argonians could maybe team up, and that could also be an example of a twin province, which would be very, very cool to think about the landscapes. That's such a vast range. You've got the deserts and forests of elsewhere, and then you've got this swamp, marshy land of Black Marsh, which is going to be, cool, really cool to explore, and I'd love to really experience a game in that setting. House Telvanni, like I said as well, could be a quest, and could be a real big quest line, and that would be really cool to experience and cool to explore as well. And with the land being very native to the Argonians, they should really, them NPCs in Argonia should, have a lot of knowledge about the caves and the chasms in there, and the foreigners should really be kind of put off, and seeing the contrast between the different cultures that are going to be in Black Marsh at the time is going to be really cool to see. Especially how we always see, a lot of people and a lot of races in all the Elder Scrolls games so far. Being a Dark Elf in Argonia could have that alien feel from Morrowind, which I've said in a few of these videos so far, which I'd like the Elder Scrolls 6 recapture, is a race that has not really been respected by Argonians at this time. They're damn well hated, and being abused just walking down the street, or maybe even attacked by some of them, would be a cool playthrough and something that could be maybe different than all the other races. And seeing that, and seeing the culture of the government of Argonia was going to be really cool to see. And finding more about the government is going to be something that's going to be cool, because we don't know a lot about it. I mean, it has been suggested that Argonia has a king, which is called the King of Argonia, but it's also a possibility that Hist have completely took over the government, which could maybe be a reason of why they've gained so much power over this era. And they was prepared for the Daedra to attack after the Oblivion Crisis and all this. So finding something about the Hist in the government was something to me that could kind of stick out as being really cool, and an explanation of why they've got so much power. But there's going to be some reason why the Argonians have got so powerful, and having more explanations of that would be really cool to see. And seeing the Argonian fighting styles, would be great. And I'd like to see more animations with the Argonians to fight. Maybe whack people with the tail or something would be cool, because the Argonian animations have always been lacking. I mean, even in Morrowind, when they'd be walking like they look like the shit themselves. I mean, it's been lacking in all the games, and I think the best game that's kind of nailed them was the Elder Scrolls Online, and I'd like them to see, do that more in the Elder Scrolls 6, have better animations for them, because they're going to have to focus on them, because, the home races at the end of the day are the ones that are most played in the provinces, and the Argonians are going to be played a lot if it's going to be set there. The big thing, though, about Argonia is interesting lore and different to anything we've seen before in the Elder Scrolls series. Probably different to most things that we've seen in anything fantasy. This is a Western RPG that's set in such an out-there landscape, which is going to be freaking amazing to explore. And with it also being neutral in the Empire War, it's going to be very hard to see the game set there, as I feel like they would want to wrap up the whole story before they go into Argonia and go into everything. So the rumour of the Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be weird to see how that is going to be there, but we'll have to wait and see. Overall, though, I do believe this is going to be the location of the Elder Scrolls 7, maybe twinned with Morrowind, as I think that the whole Argonians and Dark Elves thing is going to be a big thing that's going to be in its own individual game, because I don't think this is going to be the location, because I think they want to tie up the whole Empire storyline and all the things that they've got leaving from that. I do believe the rumour was just the rumour, and I wouldn't mind if the game was set here, but would rather it be set in some different location, to be honest with you. And the reason for that being is because it is something different we want, something different that we haven't seen before, and something really cool, but I would love them to really tie up the whole Empire storyline, as that's what's got me gripped in the Elder Scrolls series at the minute, and would love to go to another location. I mean, to be honest, this Black Marsh to me is the one that's kind of at the bottom of the list. I know that's kind of controversial to a lot of people, but that's really the main reason why. I really want them to go for Argonia and the whole thing as doing its own kind of entity and not have the whole Empire storyline looming over it. And that, to be honest, is the only reason why. Okay, so thanks a lot for watching the video, and if you want to check out any of the other Elder Scrolls 6 content, you can go on the playlist where it says Elder Scrolls 6 videos, and they're all on there. If you want to donate, then donate in the PayPal or Patreon links in the descriptions below, and any or all donations go back into the channel, not in my back pocket, as you can see me speaking into this brand new Blue Yeti mic. Also, you can follow me on Twitter, and thanks a lot for watching once again, and goodbye.